What's up, beautiful people, to another episode of Pursuit of Destiny podcast. It's me, Ricky Jones Jr., back again for another episode. And if you did not catch Monday's affirmation, yesterday's affirmation, it was entitled, I Have a Holistic Life. And what we choose to do on Tuesday is just talk further into what that affirmation was all about, so that you not just hear an affirmation, but be able to hear it, to be able to feel it, and then be able to see it and live it in your life. And I do want to say, as we even talk deeper into what this affirmation is and how it should be applied to your life, with any affirmation that you do, I talk different steps about how you could do it, right? You speak a thing, you hear it first, right? You hear what's being said because you want to make sure you're agreeing with what's being said. But then once you take on the agreement of what's being said, then you say it yourself. But as you say it, you want to start feeling the things that you're saying, because as you feel what you're saying, then you'll start leading the life and start growing to a life and start propelling to a place in which you start living out that specific affirmation. So make sure those things are in line. Make sure those things are intact as you go from hearing an affirmation to actually seeing an affirmation being lived out in your life. And so, long story short, this here podcast is all about helping people to pursue their purpose and, more than anything, live out and fulfill their destiny, okay? And so we talk about varying ways in which you can do so. We do interviews with people who are actually living out their purpose, pursuing their passions, and so forth and so on. But what we want to allow for you to do is to do just that, right? We want to get you from where you are to where you want to be, to ultimately fulfilling your destiny. And we know that when everybody is doing their part, the world would be a so better place, but more than anything, you'll be happy and satisfied with the life that you are living daily, okay? And so, just going along with the affirmation, it starts off by saying, I have a holistic life. Man, that is enough in itself. What does it mean to have a holistic life? Which that could mean a number of things depending on who you are talking to. What I believe a holistic life is that you have things together financially, things together within your family, things together within your community, things together with your spirituality, things together with your mentality, things together in your relationships, right? So like those are the different areas in which I believe having a holistic life depends upon those things being in line or working towards a better place, because not everything will be in harmony. Not everything will be flowing as necessary, right? But if you are in a place where you want to have a holistic life, you want to keep in mind those areas in life. What does it mean, right? So even living it out, you could potentially, if praying is your thing, praying is my thing, I pray that those things are intact, those things are getting better, those things are progressing each and every day. Even if it doesn't look like what I want it to look like right now, I have faith and I have belief that it will, because of the things I say, because of the thoughts that I have, because of where I'm looking ahead, right? That's what faith is. Faith is things and believing in things what's happening now for things that are to come, right? I have faith. I have belief. What is belief? Belief is simply saying that you know something is to come, right? And I'll pause because, many things could be fit in between those different things. However, believing is just having the earnest expectation of good, right? And simply that's what it is. So I have faith and I believe that my family will be in line. My family will be intact. We have great relationships with those that we are in community with, right? In conversation with, or in connection with, right? I believe that my finances are getting better and better each and every day, are in a place where I am not just a receiver, but I am a giver, right? That's the ultimate benefit. That's the ultimate pinnacle, the ultimate place where I desire to be, is to be more of a giver than anything, right? But then not only are those things intact, but my relationships are intact. My mental state of being is intact, because where your mind is, there will your body flow, right? And so not only are those things in line, but so there's the mental, there's the relationships, there is the financial, there is the physical, right? Just making sure the physical is in line, because your body is the temple here on this earth that's going to take you from point A to point B to point C to point D, all the way to point Z, right? So making sure that is in line, making sure that is good to go, which we did an interview last week with Coach Matrice, right? Which she is a fitness coach and talked about different things like that. If you missed it, go check that one out. That was fun. But even making sure that your spiritual life is intact, right? Whichever God you serve, I serve God, by way of Jesus. Jesus is the way in which I choose to get to the Father. Whichever God you so choose, making sure that is intact, right? Because you have to know that there's something bigger than who you are that allows for all this around to come in contact with each other. And you have to pray, right? Pray, you have to read, you have to grow, you have to learn, you have to mature in your spirituality and in your growth. So making sure those things are intact, man, that's how I believe first and foremost, that you can have a holistic life. And then even from there, it talks about I live in a balanced way. Wow. What a mouthful. I live in a balanced way. And that's something that we all learn to do in our respective lives differently, right? Because we all have different things going on in life. Not everybody has kids like I do. Not everybody has a spouse. Not everybody has a wife like I do. Not everybody has a full-time job as I do. Not everybody has different friends and different extracurricular activities that you like to do like I do, right? So what does balance look like? Balance looks like what you have for you planned out for you to do in your life, right? That's what balance is. But a great way to go about having balance, no matter where you are in life, no matter what your predicament is, no matter what your circumstances are, is to not start tomorrow without it being planned out. Right. And so I'm going to say it another way. So if today is Tuesday, right, when this podcast comes out, it's Tuesday. So I don't allow for Tuesday to take place without on Monday planning out what Tuesday will look like. That's another way of living a balanced life when you have a structured life, which a structured life is a balanced life, and a balanced life is a secure life, and a secure life is a life that's going to help you propel and progress, right? And so you don't want to start the day without the day being prepared. You don't want to start a day. I mean, what builder do you know builds a home without first having the framing in mind, having the blueprints in mind, having the drawings in mind? A home that you see has already been finished somewhere before it's being built, right? You don't just start putting bricks in random places and say we're going to come up with the home. Like, no, it's already drawn out. It's already laid out. It's already been inspected. It's already been certified, which starts speaking to coaches. It starts speaking to reading material. It starts speaking to counsel. It starts speaking to having great network and things like that. But more than anything, right, before we get into that slew of things, let's just even talk about what each day could look like, what each day should look like. And largely it should be what you plan it to be, right? If you don't plan your day, the day will be planned for you. There are so many different things that will come your way. The news is a great employer of people, right? Telling you what to do, telling you what to focus on, telling you what to think. However, you have to also start your day with thoughts. I spend my morning praying. I pray and I ask God, what is it that you want me to focus on? What is it that you're doing in the world today that I could be a part of? What is it that my part is in this day? What thoughts should I have? What mindset should I have? What peace should I carry? What presence should I bring when I go to different places and things like that? Because I mean, we all find ourselves in various situations and various locations amongst various people, right? But you want to make sure that you're prepared. In order to be prepared, you have to prepare yourself, because if you don't, you'll just be reacting to what's taking place rather than responding to what is. When you respond to what is, you already come with a thought, you already come with an action, you already come with a continence, because you've already prepared who you are. I believe, I happen to like LeBron James. He's a great basketball player at the end of the day, right? But I believe the great LeBron James that we know today is largely because of the preparation of yesterday. It's a preparation of years ago, preparation of decades ago. He prepared then for the player that he is now. What and who have you prepared for today because of what you did yesterday? Right? What are you prepared to do today because of the things that you did yesterday? What were the books that you read yesterday? What are the journal entries that you wrote yesterday? What are the messages that you heard yesterday? What are the podcasts, the inspirational messages? What are the conversations that you were having yesterday that prepared for you for today? Right? That is the ultimate question. That is where we are, right? That's how we're able to live a balanced life, because we are prepared for this day, right? And balance comes knowing that different things will come its way. way, just like a balance sheet. If you're, aware of accounting or great money handling principles, right? There's assets and there's liabilities. There's money going in and money going out, right? It's a part of it. It's just what it is. As an adult, you realize that's what it is. And you realize, man, being an adult isn't what I cracked up to be. I thought it was when I was a child. I thought I wanted to be free. I thought I wanted to be out the house. I thought I wanted to be grown, but then I became grown. I realized, oh my goodness, it comes with responsibilities and, bills and things come monthly. And man, it seems like the months just get a little bit shorter. But nonetheless, with the balance sheet in it all, there are assets and there are liabilities. What does that mean? It's a balance, right? It talks about how with even proper money management, you do want to have more assets in your accounts than you do liabilities, right? Basic money management tips. But more than anything, what am I saying all that to say? It's the simple fact that there's balance, right? Different ways of balancing, different outlooks, right? I'm really like tapping in on this asset and liability thing because I'm starting to learn more about how money works, especially on the business side, and then how different things work. So I'm even battling that thought, which is great because I'm growing more as it pertains to that information, which you should, right? That's even a part of living a balanced life. Thank you. Living a balanced life is growing. It's having new paradigms, it's having new thoughts, it's coming into new realizations because life isn't always what you perceived it to be, right? Where you perceive life to be is in large part to where you are currently in life. But if you learn new things about life, if you learn new nuances, tips and tricks and ideas of people that you even look up to, you'll realize, man, you may not be playing this game called life correctly, right? You may be strong in certain areas, but man, if you just adjust the way you think in this particular area, you'll be able to soar, you'll be able to take off, you'll be able to conquer new things that you may have always wanted to do but weren't able to do because you were missing a piece. You were missing a piece of the puzzle, and knowledge, information, exposure allows you to do that. So that's where I am with that. That's why I was just working through that. But more than anything, outside of that, living a balanced life, that's a mouthful. And that's something I believe each and every person desires to do. And as life progresses, as you try different things, you'll grow into it. But in large part, if you plan the day ahead, the day before, you'll be in a far better place because you'll even be able to look at what you have planned, what you have scheduled, and you'll see, oh man, like, I waste time doing that, or oh man, like, that's really not important, let me move that to another day, or oh man, I really need to conquer that, I really need to do that this day because I can't wait another day for that to take place, right? Prime example, I have to change my tags, right? You have to do it every month on your birthday month, and we're getting now to the end of this here month. And no, it's the beginning of a new month when you see this, but I was getting down to the end of the month and I was like, oh man, like I was one day away, but I just had it on my to-do list and it just kept getting knocked down. But at the end of the day, what am I saying? I'm saying balance your life and you will find your way. But I gave you a tip on how you can go ahead and start that immediately. But then even from there, it says, I live in a balanced way that makes my life fulfilling and complete. What is fulfilling to you? What is completion to you? What things do you like to do, right? Make sure you add those things. Don't be so head down, focus on getting, accomplishing, just you're not having fun with the life that you're living, right? What things are important to you? Make sure those things have a space, have a time slot in your day each and every day. Don't let a day go by that something that is important to you doesn't get taken place or isn't tended to, right? And then you do want to make sure your days are complete because life is so short, ladies and gentlemen. Life is so short. I recently lost a friend of mine, a great friend of mine, at the age of 33. We're both 33, and it just was a reminder. Life is so short. He was a healthy man, a loving man, a father, and just a great overall guy. But all that to say, I came into the realization at that homegoing that he had that life is short. And so I need to live each and every day to the fullest, to the completion, right? I'm so happy that this here week has come up where we're talking about living a holistic life, because I started valuing my movements, my actions, the things that I was doing each and every day, spending time with the kids, right? Being able to come off work, spending time with the kids, giving them their time, because they spent their day away. But when we get to come home, we get to have fun together. So there's not a day that goes by that we're not running around the house laughing. I'm like making noises, doing monster noises, and we're just running around having a great time, because that is valuable to me. Spending time with your spouse, learning, growing, seeing where one another is in life, seeing what one another want to do further in life, and just different things like that is what I value. Even taking drives, even with gas being high, I love taking drives, right? I love reading books, doing what you do to feel fulfilled, doing what you need to do to feel stretched, doing what you need to do to feel complete, right? Because not only did we talk about being fulfilled, but we talked about being complete. What completes you? What are different things that you could do? What are different things that you should do to feel complete? What are some areas, right? Another part of that question is, what are some areas in your life that you feel incomplete, right? What are some things that you're unsure about yourself in? What are some different areas in your life where you're like, man, I can grow a little bit there, or man, I wish I was able to do such and such, XYZ, 1, 2, 3. Well, know that you can, right? We live in an information age. There's information everywhere. There are audio books, there are physical books, there are videos, there are podcasts, there's a library still, right? Who goes to the library nowadays? But they're still open. A library is, for those that don't know, which would be funny if somebody listening to this doesn't know what a library is, but a library simply is a place in which you will find information in the form of books, as well as computer resources, which will give you access to the www, which is the World Wide Web. But nonetheless, in it all, right, libraries are there. There are different opportunities. There are people, right? There are people with a slew of information, a wealth of knowledge that, one, is going to be great because you'll be able to learn from them and not necessarily take those same pitfalls, do those same crazy things, or be able to learn from the mistakes that they made, so you don't have to make the same mistakes, right? That's the benefit of having conversations. There are people galore that are willing to be your coach, people galore that are willing to sell you a course, right? And those courses can be beneficial. It can help you. It can help expedite learning curves. It can help expedite different things in which you are dealing with or going through and trying to overcome, right? Those are there. Those are resources, right? My wife and I, we even have a course on helping you start a business if that's what you want to do in just 4 weeks. There are things out there for you. There's no excuses anymore, right? We want you to live a holistic life. We want you to not only want to do better, not only feel the desire to do better, but actually do the better in which you know that you should be doing. And you know what it is. I don't particularly know what it is unless you want to put it in the comment section, but you know what it is, right? And whatever that is, let's do it this week. Let's strive to live a holistic life this month. Let's strive to live a holistic life for the rest of the year. Whenever this podcast finds you, whenever this video finds you, it's not too late to begin your holistic life journey, right? And so go for it. Let's do it. Let's say it together that we will live a holistic life. And that means that we are lacking and wanting for nothing, but we are abounding in everything. Everything that we say that we will abound in, we will abound in. Everything that we put our attention and focus to, it will succeed. Everything that we touch, it will prosper. And that is something that I believe will happen for you. And if you do as well, go and smash that like button. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this podcast, share it with somebody else because they need to hear it too, because we all deserve to live a holistic life, and we all can. All right. And so we have different tips and ways in which we can. So I encourage you to do so. Live a balanced life, live a holistic life, be fulfilled and be complete every day, so that you can do so every week, so that your month will be complete and your years will be better than you could ever fathom, think of, or imagine. And so with that being said, great people, I love you all. I appreciate you all, man. You all are so awesome. I love the talks that we get to have. I love the experiences that we get to share. And I love the opportunities that we have to talk together, for you to listen, but for us to grow, right? Because this is growing me, as I hope it is benefiting you. And I know, hey, we'll be a better place because of the time in which we share. So with that being said, I already said I love you, but I'm gonna say it again because I do. I love you. I appreciate you all. Till next time, don't just live life, but pursue destiny daily. Peace.